Hello everyone, I'm Karen Brook and it is a wonderful time here. We have just opened ticket sales for Elevate 2025 and what a delight it was. We had the first 10 tickets sold within 10 minutes and I think we've been just ticking away since then. So I thought this was a great opportunity to come online with you and share with you a little bit more about what my Elevate 2-day high performance mindset and leadership conference is all about. So I've got a short video to play with you for that. So stick around, please. Also say hi in the chat. If you're here watching, please let us know in the chat. Just say hi or send me a high five or something like that. I would love to hear from you and have you join me for the next little while. I'm going to be online for a while with you. I've got something really special to share with you today. We are live across Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So hello to you wherever you are tuning in today. As I said, I'm Karen Brook, your host today, your coach of Elevate 2025. And I'm going to share with you a little bit more about the spirit of Elevate, what it's all about. We're going to celebrate some people and acknowledge some people that have already got their tickets as soon as the doors opened at 12 o'clock today. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of a treat. I'm going to play some of day one from Elevate this year. I'm going to share with you some of the video footage of the first hour or so of the Elevate seminar. So grab your lunch, grab a cup of tea and join us here wherever you are getting this broadcast, YouTube, LinkedIn or Facebook. I'd love to have you join me and settle in for a little bit of a taste of what is to come with Elevate 2025. So all of that is ahead of us today. If you were not on the wait list ahead of time, you can still get your name on the wait list and get access to tickets. So just go to karenbrook.com/elevate, put your details in as though you're adding yourself to the wait list and we will get you the link. There are only 100 tickets available and I can tell you right now that we have sold about 15 of those tickets within the first 30 minutes of going live with ticket sales. So don't miss out. Get yourself on the wait list if you weren't already on there. If you were on the wait list, get ahead. You have the link now to purchase. Go and organize your tickets for Elevate 2025. On that note, I'm going to share with you now a little bit of a little short video that sums up what Elevate is all about. You know, we don't want to think about personal development, professional development as something that we only invest in when we're struggling or things are feeling difficult or we know we need to make a life change. You know, that may be the catalyst for you coming along to Elevate, but we want to be in a constant state of growth. And Elevate is about really claiming that number one spot of your own life, your own business, your own industry, and naming it and claiming it and taking your mindset, your personal life, your business, your career to the next level, whatever that looks like for you. It's not for me to say what that should look like for you. It's for you to think about. And then I'm going to give you the exact, the step-by-step process to turn that into reality. I have coached hundreds of clients right around the world over the best part of the last decade. And I've been 2 decades self-employed in business for myself, helping clients with their branding, with their communications, now with their mindset and leadership to really take everything in their life onto a higher level. And I can't wait to work with you too. And I really hope that you get yourself a ticket to Elevate and join us there the 28th of February to the 1st of March next year at the beautiful Langham Hotel right here on the sunny Gold Coast, which it is sunny today. Hasn't been, we've had a lot of rain. But we would love to see you there. We had our first Elevate event this year in 2024, and I'm going to treat you to session 1 of that today. So don't go anywhere. Go get your ticket and come straight back, right? Click that link if you're already on the wait list. Click the link that we've sent you in your inbox or via SMS at 12 p.m. today. And if you weren't on the wait list, that's okay. Just go ahead to my website now, karenbrook.com/elevate, add your details there and we'll send you the link and you've got everything there to get yourself a ticket across to Elevate. Our early bird price is available for 24 hours only or until it is sold out. So within 24 hours, or if the tickets sell out by 4 o'clock today, then one and done. Sorry, you've missed out. So I don't want you to miss out. Make sure you get yourself along and get yourself booked in on that early bird price today. All right, without any further ado, let me share with you now a little bit of an intro to what you can expect and what Elevate is all about. So I will see you back here shortly. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to what the media would have you believe, you run the show. It's just you and the almighty universe. And either you learn how to control and direct that flow, or you don't. You might be getting great results. Just because we're running along well doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing this work. If you don't get better at doing what you're doing and put your hand up and claim that #1 spot, someone else will. And they're probably not as good as you. Professional development isn't just for people who aren't doing so great. The real winners, the leaders who are dominating their industries, the leaders who are innovating, who are true entrepreneurs, are doing this when they're already doing well. And that's why you're in the room today. Because you're doing great, but you want to do better. You either upgrade your paradigms and that benefits all of your life, or you don't. There's no halfway. Your whole life benefits. And from that place, you have the opportunity to have an enormous breakthrough. All right, head along to karenbrook.com/elevate. Get yourself on the wait list to get access to tickets, which are live and available for purchase right now, 100 tickets. If you are already on the wait list, then click the link that we have already sent you to go direct to the purchase page, and you can secure your VIP or general admission ticket there today, right now, on the early bird price. And I want to acknowledge some of you that have already bought tickets today. So I'm just going to go through and say hello to Renee Patterson. Congratulations. Renee and one other have got themselves along to Elevate. So I can't wait to meet you, Renee. I believe you are a friend of or a colleague of Ramona. So yes, I'm so happy that you're coming. Well done and great work for getting your ticket locked and loaded early. Jess Schultz, Collectively Organised. Jess is the Queen home organiser. I can't wait for you all to meet her at Elevate. She's worked with me in organising my homes, in moving me, in unpacking. She is just has the mind for organising spaces. So she said to me that she used Elevate in February of 2024 to set her up for the whole year. And she executed strategies and the plans that she developed at Elevate all throughout this year. And she was so looking forward to getting her ticket again and coming back in 2025 to set it up again for the next year. She sent me a screenshot yesterday where she had set an alarm on her phone with high priority to get her ticket at 12 o'clock. So Jess, amazing to have you back again. And I know that you're going to benefit so many people in the room as well that are going to want to do business with you. Leanne O'Sullivan, congratulations. You're coming to Elevate. I can't wait to meet you. We're going to have an amazing time together. Leanne is based in Kangaroo Point here in Brisbane. I must say Jess is here on the coast, and I believe Renee is in South Australia, Port Lincoln. So we've already got people flying in for Elevate. It doesn't matter where you live, what you're doing. You can book a ticket, you can drive in, you can get your passport and come on over to the best high performance mindset and leadership event you will find anywhere in the world right now. Elevate 2025 right here on the Gold Coast with me. Let's have a look. We have Ramona, beautiful Ramona. She was ahead of the game. She sent Simone Bircham a message a little bit earlier on. I was like, a ticket's gone on sale yet. Simone's like, it's 12 o'clock Queensland time. So Ramona's also from Port Lincoln in South Australia. So great to have you coming up to sunny Gold Coast as well, Ramona. Kate King from Gateshead in New South Wales. Looking forward to having you, Kate. Amazing. Can't wait to meet you. Welcome to Elevate 2025. I celebrate you. And well done on making an advanced decision. This is the thing with decision making. You know, we need to decide in advance who we're going to become, where we want to be, what sort of goals and results we want to create, and then rise up to that. And you've made a great decision today, making a committed decision, an advanced decision of where you're going to be the end of February. And I encourage you, if you're watching this broadcast, wherever you're getting it, across YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, to make an advanced decision. Don't wait for circumstances or things outside of you to change. Make a decision right now that you're going to be there, and go book your ticket. And then everything that you need to line up, whether it's flights or staff or a babysitter or even the money, it'll come. It will sort itself out, because providence prevails. Once one is committed, providence prevails. I want you to remember that. So go ahead and get your tickets, just like Kate did. Well done, Kate. Can't wait to meet you at Elevate next year. I've lost my spot in my emails here. Kelly Bethel, congratulations. Great to have you coming back to Elevate. Kelly's also an Inner Circle client of mine, a very long-term client from 2016. We've been working together, and great to have you coming back. No doubt bringing some of the North Queensland and Georgetown crew with you. So thank you. Kelly has been a great supporter of mine since before the beginning, really. And last year we enjoyed a trip up to Georgetown to visit the community up there, and Kelly's network, and clients Mandy Pickering up there. We've got Caroline Walsh, a great community in far North Queensland. So I look forward to seeing you all again at Elevate 2025. Who else have we got here? Let's have a look. We have got Christopher Hughes. Christopher Hughes is a wonderful TIR client of mine. He actually found me through me sharing my Birdsville content on my business page earlier on in the year, and was just following me as this woman from Birdsville and my dust storm pictures, and certainly wasn't thinking at the time anything to do with professional development or mindset development. And he did a short course with me. It was the Invisible Side of Success course, which you'll have the opportunity to actually purchase as part of your Elevate ticket at a discounted price. And at the end of that, he enrolled in Thinking Into Results, and it was one of the best decisions he's ever made. He's come to Power Up with me, and he's doing the GPS program now, and we can't wait to see you also at Elevate next year, Christopher. Look, I think I've missed a few here as I've gone through. Caroline Steele, welcome back, Caroline. Caroline is another long-term client of mine. Wonderful to have you back at Elevate. I can't wait for the laughs. Oh my goodness. Part of the North Queensland crew. Can't wait to have you all back here. Truly, I just love the spirit that you bring, Caroline, and everyone brings. You know, when you get into this work, it's one of the things, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so when I say, look, you're going to need a telescope in 6 months to look back, you think, oh yeah, whatever, that's so cliche, Karen, but it's absolutely true. It's experiential, it's deep, it's profound, it's sustainable change and transformation that goes to the root cause, your subconscious mind. And, you know, being able to come together for 2 days and be in each other's energy just amplifies all of the work that we do in the week-to-week group coaching programs of Inner Circle, Thinking Into Results, The Wealthy You, GPS. You know, we see each other on Zoom every day. You see me on Facebook, you see me on Reels, you're seeing me on a stream today, but to actually be in the room together, there's just, it's incredible. And this might be the second or third time you come into a live event with me. It's the second time we've run Elevate. Maybe it'll be your first live event with me. Have the courage and the confidence to go book that ticket now. If you're on the wait list, we've already sent you your link earlier today at 12 p.m. Go ahead and book your ticket, get the early bird price that is only available for 24 hours or until the event is sold out within that 24 hours. We have 100 tickets. If you weren't on the wait list, but you're finding this stream somewhere, not by luck or chance, you've absolutely attracted it. We have attracted each other in this moment. The law of attraction is exact. I encourage you to go to karenbrook.com/elevate, submit your details onto the wait list, and one of my team members, Simone Bertram or Elizabeth Wood, will get you the link straight away, and you'll also be able to register for Elevate. All right, let's have a bit of a look here. I think I've lost my place. Anyway, that might do us for now with the introductions. We'll pop back a little. Oh, Joe Shepherd. Beautiful Joe Shepherd. Wonderful. I know that you've been chatting to Simone a little bit about this. Joe is based in Toowoomba, And I'm really looking forward, Joe, to having you at Elevate with me next year, 2025. It's going to be an amazing event, and I know that you'll bring a wealth of knowledge and wisdom and expertise to the room as well. And one of the things that we do at Elevate is mastermind. We have snap mastermind sessions where you bring your big C-type goal, what it is that you really want, the results that you want to create, and everybody helps you work on that. And we're really reminded of the power of giving at Elevate, giving your time, giving your wisdom, giving your energy, giving your commitment to another person, not expecting anything in return, but knowing the energy must return to you. And so what we really do with Elevate, and it's just such a beautiful experience, is that you are giving time, energy, heart, attention, ideas, strategy, and you just know everyone in the room is going to give it back to you. There's just no ego in the room. It's just such a unique experience. I had a client last year, Tracy Anderson, come up to me, and we'd worked together for a few years, but she'd never come to one of my events before. And she said, she sits on a couple of boards and very successful in the pork farming industry. And she said, I've been to so many conferences and events in my time, and I can honestly tell you, I've never been to something like this before. She said, everyone is so willing to stop and talk, so willing to find out about you and learn about your goals and help you. And she said, I've just never experienced anything like it before. And truly you will find that people are coming because they want to give, they want to help, they want to grow their mindset, they want to talk about big ideas and strategy, and they want to talk about spirituality and mindset and leadership and leading at the edge of creation and team performance and high performance, and blend it all together in this space. And if we had more of this around the boardroom, it would just change corporate culture globally. And we're starting here. Get yourself around the table, get your voice heard at the table, and benefit from the wisdom and energy of Elevate. So once again, go to karenbrook.com/elevate. If you weren't already on the wait list, you can still get access to tickets today. If you are already on the wait list, you have received your link at 12 o'clock today. Get along. I'll keep checking on my phone, and we'll keep celebrating more of you who are registering over the coming hour. But I want to share with you now a little bit of a taste of what it's actually like to be at Elevate. And I'm going to share with you some of the first session on day one from Elevate this year, earlier on this year. And for you to benefit from it. So grab your journal, grab your lunch, just soak up the energy, and then make a committed decision that you're going to be there. You're going to be there with me in 2025. Just follow your intuition. Just make a decision. Don't give your old paradigm, that little voice in your head, even a second to talk you out of it, right? Just lean right in. It'll take you less than 15 seconds to click the link, get the link to register, and go and buy your ticket. You can buy a VIP or a general at the early bird price right now. And think about U plus U equals U squared. Think about getting a second ticket. And you cannot underestimate the power of having somebody else in your circle, someone else, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a business partner, a friend, your accountant, your lawyer, it might be a client that you bring along that starts to really understand the power of their mind and their subconscious mind, and how we create results, and how to truly be in control of creating the results that you want. And when you start to talk about what you want, that they get it. They don't think that, oh, that's too big for you or too small for you, or who do you think you are, that you've got someone on your team that really gets it. It's so powerful. And even if you don't know who that person is yet, I promise you, you will attract them, right? They'll show up in your life and you'll be like, that's why I got the second ticket. Or you will attract somebody who wants to come to the event and it's sold out and is willing to buy it off you. I promise you, the law is exact. So really think about that, squaring your potential, purchasing a second or a third ticket, and amplifying what you can give and what you can put out and what you can create with this experience. Okay. That's enough from me. Please say hi in the chat if you're here watching. I'd love to hear from you, whether you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, or across Facebook. I'm Karen Brook, your host today, but also your coach of Elevate 2025. I'm now going to share with you a little sneak peek of what it's actually like at Elevate, what it's actually like at the Langham, what it's like to be in the room. And I'm going to share with you a little bit from day one, the first session. So we're going to play that now. So please tune in, stick around, enjoy it. free content for you, and then go book your ticket and come along and join us there next year and be live in the room with me. Honestly, you'll never look back, and it'll be an experience unlike anything you've ever had before. All right, I will be back on with you shortly. We'll play a little bit of this session for you. I'll find a perfect time to pause it. We'll come back, we'll have a bit more of a chat, we'll talk more about, celebrate some more clients that have bought tickets to Elevate, and then we'll share a little bit more of the morning session with you. So without any further ado, let's get into it here now.
Karen, Brook, are you ready to change some people's lives, to inspire and give them direction? Let's get some music, let's get up on our seats, and let's everybody in Broadbeach hear that we're here in the Langham Hotel today with Karen Brook.
You can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride? Oh, my outfit's so tight, you can see my heartbeat tonight. I can take the heat, baby, best believe that's the moment I shine. 'Cause every romance shakes in your bed.
I still got the line dancing in me. Take the girl out of the country. Can't take the country out of the girl. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you, Simone. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. I'm so happy and grateful to have you here with us at the Langham today. What a beautiful setting to really elevate. And you all are. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to every single one of you travelling from near and far to be here with us today. I know many of you have travelled long distances, crossed flooded, never drive through flooded roads, got in a tractor to cross flooded roads, aeroplanes, all sorts of things. So I'm so grateful to be here. This time last week, 10:30, I was throwing my own bag in the back of Rex Airlines in Birdsville, doing the ground handling out there with a high-vis vest on, flying back to the Gold Coast to get ready for this event. So a bit of a change of scenery. But I put a post up a couple of days ago to say, it's never either or, it's always and. So I want you to really think about that today. What would you love and? What else would you love and? You know, if everything was possible for you, what else would you love and really step into that energy today and allow yourself to really be that best version of yourself. So it's wonderful to be here with you today and be able to take you on that journey over the next couple of days. I wrote about this event in 2015 in my journal. I had just begun work with Bob Proctor and I wanted to do an event. It was the original concept was a week-long retreat in Port Douglas. It was called Elevate. Much of the copy that went into the marketing of this event I wrote in 2015. So it was time. It was time to elevate. And I'm really proud that we have now produced this Elevate event for you. It's also a beautiful example of an incubation period. We don't know when we set our goals how long it's going to take to see them manifest, but when we know the time is the time, then we want to act on it. And I can tell you right now that I've had a week of living in the terror barrier around this. I'll teach you more about that tomorrow. My team have probably had 6 months living in the terror barrier around this event, but it is wonderful to now be here with you for Elevate. It didn't always start this way though. Those of you that have known me from the beginning may remember the seminar that I did in the beer garden of the Birdsville pub on a whiteboard in 2015. I have done seminars barefoot up near Georgetown in a big tin shed where bulls just walk through the back of the shed. I've done them, Kelly Bethel will remember this, at the RSL of the Broadbeach pub or the Broadbeach Tavern. That was a pretty rough show that day. But Bob Proctor always taught me that you bring your best no matter the circumstances. I've done seminars. I remember doing one in Toowoomba where I thought I was really going to a venue to present, and it was at the back of somebody's house in their old converted garage. And I remember having a moment walking in there, stepped into the downstairs dunny and thought, wow, this is really happening. Like, this is not what I thought I was going into. Put on my best and I walked in and gave the seminar of my life. I've done webinars when nobody's turned up. I've done seminars every week in Brisbane for 2 years, and I'd get 3 people or 5 people or 6 people. And, you know, I really was happy to do that because I was happy to share this information with whoever was ready to listen. And we have definitely grown up with the event aspect side of our business. So every lesson along the way has put us in a position now to deliver this to you. So I really hope that you enjoy the next 2 days. We're really proud of it. I'm proud of my team, and I'm proud of every single one of you for making the committed decision to be here today. I want to get started by talking about who you really are. You're already perfect. What I want you to remember, though, is that we need to draw out more of that perfection. It gets riddled, it gets layered with virus codes that you pick up from your environment. You pick it up from your community, from your family, from culture, from all sorts of things. But the essence of who you are is already perfect. Your spiritual DNA is already perfect. There is truly no end to what you can do. Do you understand that? The limitations that exist in life are in your own mind. They're not in your potential, they're not in your environment, they're nowhere other than in your mind. And we're going to unlock that for you this weekend. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Your true self has unlimited creative power. It's all in awareness. And just one moment can shift everything for you. One moment of making a committed decision. I remember the first live event that I ever went to with Bob Proctor. It was an event, the late Bob Proctor, bless him, we'll talk about him shortly. He's very much here with us too, by the way, if you were wondering. He is definitely in the room, which is wonderful. Hi, Bob. I walked out of that first event in Toronto, Canada, and before I left, I turned around and I said, I'm not leaving my dream in the room. I walked out that door and I knew I'd be a millionaire. And that was in 2015. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know what it would take, but I knew I wasn't leaving that dream in the room. So whatever dream you may have come into the room with, whatever goal you may want to set, no matter how hard it may feel, no matter the time that it'll take, don't leave it in the room with you. One committed decision. Looking yourself in the mirror when you go into the bathroom today and say, I commit. And that'll change everything for you. Most people don't. Most people are half-assed about life, let's face it. But not you. You're already leaders in your field. You're already doing phenomenal things, personally, professionally. Whether you really feel that or no, maybe you're hard on yourself, but I absolutely know you are doing your best. But I know there's another level for you. That's why we're here. That's why you're at Elevate. Everything begins on a mental level before it manifests in physical results. I still remember the little unit I was living in Kangaroo Point on that black leather couch when I wrote about Elevate. Just a line on a page back then. And here we are. And I talked myself out of this many times. I talked myself out of the name and it should be something else and was it right? And then one day I went, that's it. It's always been it. It's what I do. It's what I help people do. Elevate. Go to the next level. Give yourself permission to go to the next level. And my beautiful friend and mentor, Bob Proctor, I must start this conference by acknowledging Bob. I was at a point in my life where I wondered why I wasn't further ahead when I first met Bob Proctor. I felt stuck. I'd been self-employed my whole life, started as an 18-year-old, met him around 28, 29, or heard of him. I was doing a meditation, and halfway through that I thought, this man knows something I have never heard anyone else talk about or teach. And I didn't know at that stage exactly what it would look like, but I just knew that he knew something. And so I went to his website. There was an event that I could go to. I booked a ticket and I went. I had to borrow the money for the event. It was about 15,000 US at the time, which anyone knows the exchange rate, it's probably 30 grand Australian these days. And that was my first investment with Bob Proctor. A $25,000 Australian, excluding the flights and accommodation. So I probably spent $30,000, of which I borrowed 3/4 of it from my dad, who thought I was insane. Like, are you sure you've never met this person? You want to fly to Toronto to go and see him? That's a small deposit on a house. Not anymore. But I was like, yep. And you're going to be faced with decisions that you'll want to make in the room here over the next 2 days that may feel very illogical. You won't know how. There'll be people around you. There'll be your partners, your parents on the end of a phone that'll say, you're crazy. You can't do that. You can't spend that. And they may not say it exactly like that, but that'll be their vibe. Am I right or am I right? Yeah? But sometimes we just know that's what we want. And that's why we are here today, because I backed me. No one else did. You have to back yourself. I can guide you, and I am your guide. I will hold your hand through that terror barrier. You know, I will encourage you, but at the end of the day, I cannot make the decision for you around what it is that you want, around investing in yourself, but you can make that decision for you. And I got on that flight and I went, and my life has never been the same since. He didn't change me. He drew out the perfection that was already within me. And that's what I'm here to do for you.
Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob.
I've got to go back. Sorry. Bob transitioned 2 years ago on the 4th of February. And I have so many beautiful stories and videos and pieces to camera that Bob has done, and he created this video for me. This would have been produced, I was pregnant with Eddie, my second baby, so goodness me, September, I think it was about September 2019, Bob filmed some of this with me, and COVID hit, if you remember, in February of 2020. So this was one of the last videos, probably the last video, piece to camera that I have with Bob. And while he was still alive, we'd made this short video of him introducing me and talking about the work that we do. And I undenied whether to include it today because he has transitioned, but he was such a special person in my life and in so many of your lives as well. And in terms of this work, you know, he really taught me that people don't go deep enough. But if we're not talking about a spiritual aspect to who we are in our work, then we're never going deep enough, or we're never going to get that permanent transformation. So I want to share this short video with you from Bob to sort of set us up for today, and then we'll go into our commitment piece for the weekend.
Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor. Do you know, for over 50 years now, I have traveled all over the world helping people tap into the deep reservoirs of talent and ability they have and improve the quality of their life. Sometimes it was to improve the company, sometimes it was just on a personal level. I've worked with a lot of people. For the last 4.5, 5 years, I've been working with Brook here. She is without question one of the most effective people that I've ever worked with, male or female. She has a phenomenal business. If you want to find out what you're capable of doing or how much better things could be, sit down with this woman, attend one of her meetings, go in with a very open mind and listen to what she's saying. You know, it's because she attended a meeting like that, it's because I attended a meeting like that, so many years ago, that everything in my life changed. We've got some of the best information in the world. We know, you know, there's people that are not very bright and yet they're worth millions and they're building big businesses. We know there's people that are absolutely brilliant and they're broke. What is the matter? There's something one does understand and the other one doesn't understand. We know what that is. We will share information with you that is literally life-changing, and it'll change your corporation. You know, this has got to be the most gratifying kind of work a person can get involved in. And you do an absolutely phenomenal job, Karen.
Thank you so much, Bob.
You really do. I am very, very proud to be working with Karen. I want you to find out what she could do for you. I guarantee you, your income could skyrocket. It'll change. Your personal relationships will improve. Your company, everything will move on to a higher frequency. You remember when we had the old cell phones? We had a great big box. Wasn't too long before that, we didn't even have the box with the phone. Today, everybody's got one of these things stuck in their pocket, and we can communicate all over the world. That is because somebody became more aware. Karen's going to change your awareness. It'll change your life. So Karen, I want to thank you for working with us and working the way you do, and you're going to be thanking her pretty soon.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, I'm just going to jump back in. I'm just hitting pause on the restream. And I just want to acknowledge a couple more people. Mandy Pickering, Julie Bebbington, Caroline Steele, Leanne O'Sullivan, Ramona, and Marianne Pachelk, all who have just bought tickets to Elevate 2025. Congratulations. I'm going to throw you back to me on the stage. We are currently sharing session 1 from day 1 of Elevate 2024 held earlier on in the year. So back to Karen Brook.
Bob is very happy to be here. He's been hanging out for an event like this for the last couple of years since he transitioned. So we're happy to have Bob in the room with us for the next couple of days. So let's make our committed decision, our commitment to ourselves. Open up your workbooks. You'll see this right at the beginning of the workbook. It'll be on, I'll tell you, page 6 or so. Did I hear somebody say? And I want you to write your name and sign and date it. I, Karen Brook, commit to embracing this Elevate seminar with myself. I will keep an open heart and mind, allowing myself the best energy and the self-confidence to act on any impulses and ideas that come my way during this time. I want you to write your own name in there and sign and date it. I am going to give you everything I've got over the next 2 days, and I expect you to do the same. Give yourself everything you've got. Give it your best shot. When you feel challenged, when you feel triggered, lean in. When you feel happy, when you feel sad, lean in. When you feel scared, lean in. When you feel intuitive, lean in and commit to yourself. And you will walk out that door a different person. You will look different, you will feel different, your energy will be different because you've gone to another level. Everyone signed it? All right. So what's it going to take? What are we going to cover? Where are you now? We're going to look at that today. Do you ever feel like you don't have enough time to be across everything in your life? Hands up. Do you ever feel like there's a gap between what you're earning and what you would love to earn? Hands up. Do you ever feel there's a gap between how you're living and how you really want to live? Who booked a hotel room and is booking the suite next year? Who booked at another hotel and is going to book early so you get a room here next year? Who got a taxi and next year is going to book a driver? Who caught Qantas and next year is going to book a private jet? Anyone? So we need to look at where we are now and start to have these conversations. And you know what? The beautiful thing about this, two incredible things about this event, the Karen Brook community, our programs, is one, everyone is just as nice as you. So in the break, go and introduce yourself, and they're going to be just as incredible as you. And 2, we're not afraid to talk about big ideas. We're not afraid to talk about what we want to change. We hold space for each other. You will not meet a person in this room who will look at you sideways when you share what you're here to work on. And I get that feedback and have got that feedback for more than a decade on what it's like to be a part of our community. It's rare. I mean, we face it enough sometimes in our homes or our schools or our environments where we don't feel free to be ourselves. And we've got to learn to be ourselves, but we've also got to know who that is. And I'll show you that and I'll teach you that. Then we're going to have to make a decision. Decision is your magic mental move. What do you really want? The second you make a committed decision, providence prevails. Why is that? Because we move ourselves onto the frequency of the decision of what we want. When we're just thinking about it, when we're just wishing for it, when we're just, I'm gonna, nothing changes. We're still attracting from the same vibration or the same frequency. But when we commit, when we make a decision, we're going to attract everything that is in harmony with that decision. The time, the money, the opportunity, the people, the resources, and we must commit before we were ready. I promise you, I signed the deposit on this hotel way before I was ready to do it. That's how we elevate. That's how we go to the next level. And for many of you in the room, you probably made the decision to be here in much the same way. It may not have been a money thing, but it may have been a time thing. Where am I going to get a babysitter from? Will I be able to get flights? Will it work for me? But you made the decision, and guess what? You're in the room. So you commit and you make a decision before you're ready. That's how you move everything onto a new level, onto a new frequency. The only prerequisite for making a decision is, do you want it? Do you want it? It's not, where will the resources come from? Can I do it? Will I do it? Because the answers to those questions are in the same reality that you're already living in. So we've got to first move everything onto a higher level. We have to move everything onto the frequency of where we want to be. And then, and after the fact, we begin to attract. After the fact, we've delivered the service, the value, the products, we receive the compensation for it. We're going to have to persist. You are going to have to persist over the next 2 days. This seminar, this work is not for lightweights. It's not a motivational seminar. It is not an inspirational seminar. I am teaching you something about you and taking that to a new level. So I'm not going to be rah-rahing on the table or getting you to walk through fire or, you know, maybe happy dance at some point. But it might get tough because you'll be confronted with your own goals and dreams and you'll be wondering how. So you're going to have to persist, and you're going to have to persist through life as well. This might also be a great opportunity, actually, to just talk about me selling you over the next 2 days. Selling a program, a train, or how many people are like, oh God, here we go. Really what I'm doing is selling you on you. And professional selling is leading a person on the path to agreement. If you don't know that about sales and you're in sales, we need to talk. Sales is leading another person on the path to agreement. It's helping you make the decisions that you want to make. And I have a duty of care to not only sell you on you, but give you an opportunity to stay in this energy. Would you agree with me? It would be very unfair on you if I raised you up for 2 days and left you with no opportunity to continue at the end of this. Agreed? That would be wrong of me. So you will have an opportunity to buy, but there's no big conference pitch. There's no big conference discount. There's no brand new program created just for Elevate. It is our rock solid, life-changing programs that I have always sold, that I have always taught for the same price. You can buy them today in the room or online as you could yesterday, and it'll be the same next week. I don't want you to make a decision to work with me out of lack or fear that I might lose something. You're already whole. There's nothing to lose. But what I do want you to do is to make a decision to stay in this energy and feel good about that decision and feel empowered making that decision and feel abundant and prosperous making that decision. See the difference? Isn't that good we got that out of the way early? Whew. Jeez, I sweat on that. So whenever you would like to make a decision and continue in this energy, the order forms are in your satchels. You can hand them in to Lisa at the back of the room. We'll get you set up. It's as simple as that. And you're going to need that because you will have to persist after this. We will raise you to a new level, but then you're going to go back into your environment. You're going to go back into your family. You're going to go back into your communities. You're going to have all sorts of external influences, paradigms. We're going to talk about that this morning. And I am your guide. I am your accountability and your support. We are going to ground you in that, and we have the most incredible community of people and team to help you with that. And I'm going to need you to bring a great attitude. Your attitude is a vibration. It's an energy that you send out into the universe, and it's going to dictate what comes back to you. It is an energy that you curate yourself through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. We're going to talk about this at the end of today. Negative attitude, negative results. I mean, Louis, my 5-year-old, could teach you that. We all know that, right? Negative attitude, negative results. Good attitude, good results. But what is attitude? How do we create an attitude that matches the results we want to create? How do we create an attitude that matches our goal, what we dream of, to put ourselves in harmony with that? How do we check our attitude? How do we change our attitude? How do we bring everyone in our company up to a new level through attitude? It's a massive piece. And when you get this, and when it becomes habit for you, you can attract what you want like clockwork. But it has to be practiced. And guess what? Every next level will require a new attitude. We're never done. There's no finish line. I'm so sorry. There's no finish line with personal development. We don't do this work, put a lid on the jar and say, okay, I'm done. It's just not how it works. I mean, some coaches and mentors might say that. I'm never going to say I guarantee it. Because if you don't do the work, then... But I did say at the start of this, I'm going to give you everything I've got. And you need to commit to yourself to give yourself everything you've got as well. So I want you to have a great attitude, not just now, but forever as you move forward. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. I want you to open up your guides and turn over to the reading on your spiritual DNA. You are an offspring of a deathless soul. We're going to have a look at this together briefly. Continuous personal growth, what page are we up to here? 8. You are the offspring of a deathless soul. Your soul just is. Your infinite spirit just is. The physical manifestation of you is the last and lowest level that soul is manifesting on. Continuous personal growth and increased prosperity in every area of your life are not natural states, are natural states in which you can and should live. Unfortunately, this type of lifestyle is not normal and therefore only enjoyed by a ridiculously small percentile of the population. Ever met anyone that said you should be grateful for you should be happy with what you've got? Why do you need all that? Why do you keep setting goals? You don't need all that money. You don't need that car. You don't need a bigger house. You don't need more clients. Why would you want that? I remember telling my brother once, bless him, beautiful support of me, but I had said, and he works in university education. I was like, hey, Gaz, if we wanted to have 10,000 clients, how would we do that? Give me freight. He goes, I don't know, Kaz, whether you'd want 10,000. Maybe 1,000, 500. I mean, I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, only 1,000. But in my mind, I'm like, but imagine, 10,000. Most people don't live like this. We grow, we transform, we create. As little kids, we crawl, we walk, we learn to run, we learn to ride a bike, then we learn to ride it with no hands. Then we go to high school and eventually we do maths A and we learn all of this algebra and we go to uni and think, God, I've got a university education, and then it all just stops. We get a job. We think, I don't need to grow anymore. As adults, we stop doing this. But you are an offspring of a deathless soul, continuous advancement, prosperity, personal growth are natural states in which you should live. Imagine closing your eyes and seeing this pure positive source energy flowing to and through you that is infinite, and with it you can create anything that you really want with. And imagine believing that, what that could do for you. That's what we're talking about here. Your spiritual DNA, effectively expressed, is always for expansion and fuller expression. You are made in the image and likeness of the architect of the universe. Your mind is the center of a divine creation. I mean, get that. The divine is always for expansion and fuller expression. Do you know what that means? That right now, irrespective of what conditions and circumstances you are facing in your life, you are at the center of expansion. I already knew well advance of being on stage with you that today would be the greatest show we've done up until yesterday because of this law. I don't have to wonder or wish whether it's going to be any good because I understand deeply that my mind is at the center of a divine creation, and the divine is always for expansion, fuller expression. Therefore, it is bringing about conditions and circumstances in my life and in yours that are well in advance of any that you have experienced before. Think about the significance of that. That right now in this moment, you are experiencing conditions and circumstances in advance of any that have gone before. It's just going to get better and better and better. There's no end to it. Does that mean there's going to be contrast? Absolutely. But we're at the center of a divine expression, advancement. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into awareness or fragmenting into the awareness of the created. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into awareness. So either it's going inward because we're not growing, we've got no new ideas, right? We need ideas for transformation. If there's no new ideas, there's no new level to think from. So there's no new energy flowing to and through us, so there can be no expansion. And so when we feel the conflict or the friction, it's within us. We're trying to limit or put a lid on, but it's impossible to do that. So it's like hitting against a brick wall, the friction, anyone ever felt that? The frustration, it's within you. Once you recognize that, we can then also take steps in our environment to facilitate that transformation. I want you to study this tonight. We're not going to call it homework because we're not at home. We'll call it after work. I want you to study this reading tonight. And Bob taught me how to study. I want you to read it. Not once, maybe twice, maybe three. Take a pen, study a sentence, and ask yourself, what is here for me? How can I use this awareness that I get from this reading to help me move forward now? Now, what else can I do? I want you to really study it. You also have that as a handout in your satchel, a laminated handout you can refer back to. So who are you?
All right, I'm going to pause there and just bring myself back on with you again to celebrate another couple of people that have booked tickets to come to Elevate 2025. Alison Shepherd, Ali Shepherd, congratulations. Great to see that you've got your tickets ready to go for next year. For those of you who have never met Ali, Ali has also been around my community for a while. First met Ali when I was just about ready to give birth to my first baby, actually. She became a client of mine in Thinking Into Results. She's a wonderful real estate agent down in Port Macquarie. So if you're interested in buying or selling in that area, look up Ali Shepherd through Elders Lifestyle Real Estate. Ali's going to be in the room at Elevate next year. And again, just really acknowledging the wealth of wisdom and knowledge and growth and business and acumen, just everyone in the room. That's what makes it so special. and all there for that real common interest of wanting to do better and be better and grow. So great to have you back in the room again, Ali and Will Comiskey. Great to have you in the room again, Will. Will's married with young children on a farm around the Toowoomba area, doing some great things in agriculture and mindset and business, and can't wait for you to meet Will. You may have seen him on stage with me last year on our panel discussion, where we had Kelly Bethel, Athena Manley, Paul Appel, and Will sharing their experience of this work and what it's done for them. So I hope that you get to meet Will in the room next year as well. Just want to run through a couple of options with tickets if you're watching this. In fact, let me just shut this down for a minute. We'll come back to that. So we have 2 ticket options for Elevate. We have our VIP ticket and we also have a general admission ticket. So the early bird for VIP is currently $1,200. After the early bird, it goes to its set price of $1,800. So a great opportunity to get a VIP ticket on the early bird, which is available only for the first 24 hours, or it ends when tickets are sold out. So we've only got 100 tickets total for Elevate. That is the allocation for 2025. And that's a hard and fast line. No holds, no extending it just a little bit. It is exclusively capped to 100 litres, Elevate 2025. So your VIP ticket is $1,200 and it goes back up to $1,800 after early bird ends or when sold out. Your general admission ticket is $980. That'll go to $1,200 after early bird ends. So go to the website, karenbrook.com/elevate if you need to get access to tickets. You can add yourself to the waitlist there today, and one of my team members will be in touch with you to get you the tickets, the link to purchase. If you have already been on our waitlist, you will have got a text message from me or an email in your inbox with the direct link to purchase tickets. Get along now and get your tickets sorted. I think we're up to about 2025 now, tickets sold within the first hour and a little bit of having released these tickets. So they are going very quickly. Make sure that you don't delay, you don't wait around, get along to the website now. It's very quick and easy to secure tickets. Click the link that we've given you, choose from VIP or general, all of the inclusions there. I must say that right now, the VIP is extraordinary value in terms of what you're getting just for a little bit more than the general admission. You're going to get access to that mix and mingle VIP networking night with me on day one. You also get access to our beach meditation and yoga session on the Sunday morning. You get premier seating at the front of the room. You get the VIP conference satchel, gifts on the table, and the event recording for 14 days. So we will give you access to go over the seminar again for 14 days. Those benefits are not included in the general ticket. So like I say, entirely up to you, but it is great value right now to get access to that VIP ticket for those additional inclusions for not a lot more than a general ticket. Your general ticket is $980 at the moment on the early bird. That'll get you the seminar sessions, networking opportunities in the room, and lunch on both days, tea and coffee, and conference satchel. So head along to my website, choose between VIP or general. Consider getting a second ticket to bring someone in your circle, a team member, a business partner, a spouse, a friend, your parents, to the event, that you are expanding your level of awareness, and someone else, even if they're not studying at the same level as you, they've got some capacity for you to grow and to grow together and to support that growth. Even your accountant, your lawyer, a significant business advisor or associate, have them come along as well so they get it. When you're talking about big C-type goals and big dreams, that they know there's actually a process. It's not just a pie in the sky idea with no plan or strategy to achieve it. And this is the thing that I'm going to teach you how to do, is how to really take those goals and dreams, those ones that you think are too big for you, and turn them into reality. Using the laws of the universe, using the laws of your mind, creating the right mental programming that can bring about those results. There is a science behind it. Success is not a secret, it is a science, and there is a process to it, and I'm going to teach you that process. So let's go back to session 1, day 1 of Elevate 2024. Let me get the video set back up for you again, and we're going to pick up where we left off around the 32-minute mark. Again, just acknowledging those people that have just bought tickets. Will Comiskey, Ali Shepherd, Marianne Pichelk, Ramona, Leanne O'Sullivan, Caroline Steele, Julie Bebbington, and Mandy Pickering, the most recent ones, to secure their tickets. So congratulations, and I can't wait to have you back with us again. All right, let's bring you up to where we need to be here. All right.
Who Bob looked up to, said, if I want to be free, I'm going to have to be me. Not the me you think I should be. Not the me my mum or dad thinks I should be. My husband, my partner, my children think I should be. If I'm going to be free, I'm going to need to be me. So who are you? You are a spiritual being. You are gifted with a mind. You have emotions, and you are living in a physical body having a physical experience. So by the way, all of your, the spiritual side of you, you're all having a great dance party in here right now. Everyone's real happy. Then the physical side of you is just sitting there. So there is more to you than meets the eye, because the eye is one of the senses. Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. But you also have your mental faculties. Your mental faculties of reason, your ability to think. Your imagination, your ability to see a picture on the screen of your mind. You have perception, your ability to see things from a different point of view. You have your will, the ability to hold one idea on the screen of your mind to the exclusion of all outside distractions. You have memory, your ability to recall, to create a memory, to create a physiological response in the body to put you in a new vibrational state. And you have your intuition. There is this non-physical side of you, and you communicate with the invisible side of life. Has anyone done my 5-day mini course, The Invisible Side of Success? Most people are here, I have, I think. But I introduce you to that concept over 5 days. It's just a little mini course. That there is this infinite stream to you, this spiritual side of you that is infinite, and the mind side of you that is divine, that is always for expansion, fuller expression. There is this emotional side to you. We have emotions, we have feelings, and then we create a physical existence with that. But there is so much more to us, and so we're taught to live through our senses, more so as adults. If I can't see it, it's not real. The bank account, the whatever, tells a true story about who we are. No, it doesn't. It's a moment in time. It's part of a transformation. The only thing certain is what's within you. That is constant. Everything else is transient. Oh my God. Oh.
Hello.
Got
My name
it?
is Luther Cora.
Thanks, Bob.
My family is the Bungaree family. And we are
So we are living in this physical body, but there is this infinite side of us, and we communicate with that infinite side through our mental faculties. Has everyone got that? So the starting point, so turn over, we're going to have a look at this starting point. So where we're going to start with this is bringing order, bringing mental order. Just follow along with me. It is an old saying that order is heaven's first law. And like many other old sayings, it contains a much deeper philosophy than appears immediately on the surface. Getting things into a better order is the great secret of progress. We are now able to fly through the air, not because the laws of nature have altered, but because we have learned to arrange things in the right order to produce this result. The things themselves had existed from the beginning of the world, but what was wanting was the introduction of a personal factor, which, by an intelligent perception of the possibilities contained in the laws of nature, should be able to bring into working reality ideas which previous generations would have laughed at as the absurd fantasies of an unbalanced mind. Now let me explain this to you. Order is heaven's first law. When we bring things into a better state, we align ourselves with a more constant frequency or vibration. So often we think of bringing order to our environment. Declutter, organise, tidy it up, make space, make it look neat, but we've still got a chaotic mind behind it. So the order in our environment doesn't necessarily last that long. It may last a month or a couple of months or 3 months or 6 months, but we sort of go back to our dominant state of mind. When we bring order at a mind level, then everything stays in a more orderly state. So when we are bouncing around from one idea to another, I think I'm going to do this, I think I'm going to do that, I like this goal, I like that goal, we are split. It's like energy shooting off in multiple directions. And energy attracts energy back to us. We attract the opposite side of that energy, which could be opportunities, people, challenges, circumstances. And so then we have to bring order to that process so we can attract in a more constant way what it is that we're doing. So I'm going to elevate you today to start to think about what it is that you want, that one idea, or it could be a personal and a professional goal, and really bring order to your conscious mind around this, because when we do that, we're bringing order to our energy. We're going to start to reflect that one congruent vibration that can then attract to us everything that's in harmony with that. Make sense? So the starting point is understanding this, that if I am not working in an orderly way, then I'm not going to get the results that I really want. Now, we have a huge pandemic facing the world right now. It is a personal development pandemic. Ironic that I say that and we're at a personal development seminar. The explosion in micro content as a result of COVID through the COVID years is monumental. If you flick up Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, there are more reels, more videos, more content around what to do and how to do it and feel better about yourself and this and that than ever before. And so what happens is we get a hit of dopamine over here. We go, oh, I watched that, it was amazing. And then the next morning we're over here and we're like, oh my God, that was incredible. And we're like, I feel so good. And then over here we watch the next one and the next one have you heard about? And we're like, oh my God, I'm so good. But guess what? You're still stuck. Nothing's changed. We feel good for a week or two. We shoot ourselves up with this dopamine hit. We get high on the love drug of social media and all of the micro content, but we're not working at the root cause. All we've actually done is made a way to make ourselves feel good. But we're not working at the root cause. We have to go deeper. So I encourage it. We do it with books. You know, we get lots of books. Oh, that's the answer, that's the answer, that's it. But we don't implement any of it. We don't act on any of the information. There is a gap between what we know and what we do because we haven't learnt to change the paradigm. We haven't learnt to go deeper in our subconscious mind in an orderly way, not jumping around the internet. You don't get to the top of Mount Everest by, oh, I think I'll go this way a little bit. Oh, no, I'm going to fall off a cliff there. I'm going to go this way a little bit. We don't do that. Mountaineers don't do that. They take the paths that are known, right? Agreed? Yes? A proven pathway. An orderly pathway. The track's been laid out. They've got the ropes up Mount Everest. It's planned. You get to base camp. But in life, you going through life, you're not doing that. You're going a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit over there, and you're wondering why you sometimes don't feel so good or why you're not getting the results that you're getting, starting and stopping here and there. So we got to bring things into a better order. And we begin to do that, we begin to attract to ourselves everything that is in harmony with that better order. We begin to attract what we want in a more orderly way. Order is heaven's first law, and there's laws of the universe that I'm going to talk about, introduce you to soon. And we begin to create the results that we want. We begin to attract. You are a massive energy. You are a molecular structure. The atoms in the cells of your body are vibrating at a very high speed. And you affect that vibration by virtue of the thoughts that you think. Now, if those thoughts are scattered, lots of ideas, lots of competing, then what's happening with the atoms in your body? They're going to be scattered, right? And so we're emitting a frequency. You are a broadcasting station. I've got a great example of this. You are a broadcasting station. And whatever frequency you are broadcasting is what is going to be picked up. And it is picked up by environments, by other people, by opportunities, and we begin to call it in. Now, you all know this. If I was listening to 612 ABC Brisbane, I wouldn't be sitting there listening to 612 ABC Brisbane being like, oh, God damn it, I want to listen to what's on 105.3. I'm so disappointed that I can only hear ABC radio and the sports and the cricket when I really want to be listening to 105. Like, God damn it, we would change the station. Agreed? We would change the station. We go to the frequency of where we want to be. And then, guess what? We get to hear the music on that frequency. But what happens in life is we get really frustrated where we don't want to be. We haven't made a decision to shift. We haven't given ourselves permission. We haven't consented to the transformation. When we make a decision and we consent, we're now broadcasting a new frequency. It doesn't mean everything there is just like to us. There's an incubation period, but now we're on the frequency. When we change the radio station, would you agree with me? We make a decision to change it. Then we reach to the radio in the car or our phone and we dial it in. I mean, I grew up in Birdsville. We only had two. We had ABC or Channel 10. It was a very easy decision. It was Bubba the elephant in the palace after school, or it was something on ABC, Sesame Street. That was it. But we made a decision and we changed the television station. The old wireless frequencies, you know those old ones that you have to dial. And then when you're close, it goes, oh, welcome to... And then you get the frequency. I need to drink water now. But that's what happens, right? You dial it in, and when you're close, you can start to pick it up. When you make a decision and you go there, you're not going to hear anything straight away. You got to dial it in. And as you begin to dial it in, you start to pick up, I'm aligned. Oh, that came through. I can hear that. Oh, there's an idea. There's some guidance. Oh, I'm getting closer. We start to know that we're on that frequency. So we know this. We have plenty of examples of this from our everyday life, but we forget that we are the broadcasting station, attracting everything to us by virtue of the frequency that we are expressing to the outside world. We also control that frequency through our attitude, thoughts, feelings, and actions. But if we don't have a goal and we don't know where we're going, then we have no basis to create the attitude, the thoughts, feelings, and actions that match up to it. So when we make a decision around what we want and where we want to go, then we know, well, now I know how I need to be thinking, how I need to be feeling, how I need to be acting. What are the decisions that are going to help me get in harmony with my goal, where I want to go? This is one of them. I didn't make a decision to be here because I was ready for it. I made a decision because it's in harmony with my goal. The difference I want to make, the people I want in the room. And we start expressing that frequency. We broadcast that station and we begin to pick up everything that's in harmony with it. And there's no accidents. Every single one of you are here for a reason. You've been attracted for a reason. It can be no other way. Whether it's abundantly clear to you exactly why you're here yet, Whether you're like, I don't know why I'm here, but I just felt attracted, the answer will come. But there is absolutely a reason why, because you were either bang on in harmony with the frequency we were putting out, or you were close to it. And that's how you were attracted in. So in business and in sales, we want to remember this, that you're expressing a frequency, an energy out, and you're going to attract back everybody that's in harmony with that, and also anyone that is near that. There's not too much of a gap that they can sort of get there. But the ones down here are too far away. You know, we want the people that are either on our level or near our level or resonating, and we should work. The work is in curating that energy, that mindset, that attitude to attract that, not worrying about how we solve this. Make sense? They're okay. They've got the people that are going to help them, that are expressing that vibration, that frequency. They're no less than or better than you. It's all in awareness. It's all in frequency. This was such a game changer for me because I was always young in business. Started my first business, graphic design and branding business, and I was pitching local government councils to do their rebrands, Quilpie Shire, Diamantina Shire, all the Western Queensland councils. But I was only 21 or 22 at the time, and I thought, I'm going to have to really bring my best because I'm young and this and that. And then Bob Proctor taught me that it's got absolutely nothing to do with how much money you have, how old you are, how young you are. No one is better than or less than anybody else. It all exists in awareness. There are things that James and Naomi at the back, you're going to hear from them, they run my marketing, can do that I have no idea how to do because they have a different degree of awareness with respect to that. There are things that I can do that they can't do. There's things that Athena knows about from her career in Fortune 500 companies that I don't know. But no one is better than or less than anybody else. And you've got to get that in your soul. When you walk into a room, you belong there. Because it's all in awareness. That's it. And when we raise our level of awareness, we get in harmony with whatever is now on that level. It doesn't matter that what we left behind down here that's no good anymore, or they're bad, or anything. It's just different levels of awareness. Always for the greater good. So serve the people that you want to serve. Do business, create products, launch companies for the people that you want to help, and know that you will attract them and anybody else that is resonating with your message. Anybody else that's in harmony with that. And they can come from all levels. But if you are trying to be for all frequencies, you're going to be for no one. Triple J is just for the Triple J listeners. Am I right? Like, I don't listen to a lot of Triple J. It's not for me. But Triple J doesn't market on Triple J to trying to get me to come across from 105 or whatever. I don't listen to radio. But if I did, Triple J is not trying to do that. Change who they are for me that doesn't want to listen to them. They're for their people. Be for your people. Be for your clients, for your community, for what you want to do, what you want to create. And you will attract them and everybody else that's in harmony with that message, and they can come from anywhere. Look around the room. You're all perfect and you're all unique, and you've all been attracted here. One vibration. If you are for everybody, you are for no one. My beautiful friend Catherine Weishauppel taught me that. Reminded me of that, I should say. Karen, if you are for everybody, you are for nobody. And I want you to remember that. And the first person you are for is yourself. The first person you have to sell is you on you. If you're in sales, do you believe it? Have you sold yourself? Do you understand the benefits? Have you given yourself permission to succeed? Have you consented to the transformation? You have to sell you on you before you can sell anybody else on themselves. I sold myself on me. Now I can sell you on you. And I keep selling myself on me every single day. Because if I'm not getting better, I've got nothing new to give you. There's no elevation. There is nothing that I will teach, talk about, ask you to do, an investment to make that I have not done for myself, that I know works, that I have tried and tested. So if I ask you to do something, if I'm suggesting, it's because I know that it works. And very soon, if you start having any conversations in the room with people, you'll see that that's the case for everybody in the room. Make a committed decision. You must consent to the transformation. You must give yourself permission to change. When we look at our businesses, when we look at our companies, we've got to consent to the transformation. Say, hey, we are going to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. Most people are treating symptoms, not the cause of the problem. They're treating the symptoms of low sales, the symptoms of poor workplace culture, the symptoms, not the root cause. If we're going to treat the root cause, we have to make a committed decision, and we have to consent. We have to say, hey, we can build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. I was talking about this with Richard and Maurice yesterday. It's okay to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. In our businesses, in our companies, but most importantly in ourselves. At Louis, my 5-year or 6-year-old, nearly 6, at after school care, they have this like little crab in this big sea aquarium. And have you ever seen when a crab sheds its shell? It's like another little mini crab just there on the bottom of it. It's incredible. It's okay for you to do that. You look at and be proud of that. That video that I played at the beginning, that footage, I mean, you could see it, right? I don't look like that anymore. There's an elevation, there's an evolution, there's growth, there's transformation from doing this work for a very long time at higher and higher levels. And it just gets better and better and better. And yes, that comes with contrast. Absolutely. But we have to consent, let ourselves grow, let ourselves transform, and love it. Interesting. This could be work for me. Love every version of yourself in that transformation. Every version has done her and his best with the level of awareness that you had at that time. There are no mistakes. There can't be any guilt. It is about understanding that we did the best we could with the awareness that we had at the time, and love her or him for that. Just going to go back. So I've got another short video from Bob talking about decision and talking about making that committed decision. And it only goes for a couple of minutes, but it's got a very important message. So sit back and soak this one in.
If you don't act on your ideas, you don't deserve the reward. It's that simple. That's a simple law. If you're not prepared to act, you don't deserve the reward. Nobody hears you saying this. This is talking that's going on in your subconscious mind. And it is screwing up every opportunity. When you let your paradigm influence your thinking, you have disqualified yourself from anything better than you presently have. Discipline is giving yourself a command and then follow that command. That's not following somebody else's command. 90% of the world are following somebody else's command, and they're not living the way they want to live. It's got to be the way you want. Not the way your mama wants you to be, not the way your daddy wants you to be. What do you want to be? What's that desire inside? When everything in you telling you why you can't do it. When everything in you seems to go the wrong way to where you think you should go. That's when you've got to have guts. And if you don't have it, you don't deserve to win.
any idea. Any idea. That's held in the mind. You gotta focus on it. You gotta stay focused on what you want. Don't let anything knock you off track. Don't let anybody convince you you can't do it. You may not be responsible for who you are, but I'm going to tell you something. You're responsible for changing it.
You may not be responsible for who you are, but you're responsible for changing it. What does he mean by that? You are programmed with a self-image. There is an image that you express to the outside world, and there's an inner image. We call it a self-image. And part of that self-image is a multitude of paradigms. Now, a paradigm is a multitude of ideas, beliefs, behaviours programmed in our subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is responsible for 96 to 98% of everything and who you are. The conscious mind, the thing, 4% of what you create. Mental activity does not constitute thinking. Most people are walking around and they're not thinking, they're operating on autopilot, on paradigms, on conditioned ideas and beliefs from yesterday, from last year, from last month, from school. What we were taught and told of ourselves as children. In high school, a sentence that the teacher had said to us in year 9. And we carry that around and it forms part of our identity. It forms part of our self-image. And that starts to influence our results. And so we have to change the paradigm. We are responsible for changing the paradigm. No one else can do it for you. It doesn't matter how they got there, but you are responsible for changing them. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that they're all negative or bad. This is a very important point. When people come into professional development or personal development, sometimes people think, well, I've got a really big problem and I've got stuck and I'm telling you. And that could be the case. But when we raise the bar and we set an elevated goal, a bigger goal for ourselves, we also have to change the paradigm. It's a positive paradigm shift. It's letting go of the old programming and putting the new one in. And sometimes it's because we're getting results that we don't really like and we don't really want. And so we want to improve those results. And so we're changing a negative paradigm to a positive paradigm. It could be a money paradigm or a time paradigm or a productivity paradigm. It could be, all kinds of different things. But also we could say, hey, well, I'm earning, $100,000 a year and I'd like a job earning $200,000. That's going to have to be a paradigm shift, a money paradigm shift, a time paradigm shift, and also an overall self-image. The person earning $100,000 a year is not thinking about earning $200,000 a year. They don't have the self-image or the mindset that goes with it, the thoughts, feelings, and actions that goes with it. So it's still a transformation. So it doesn't mean that it's going to be bad for you to do this. It's that you want a new result. Are you in harmony with that result? How do you get in harmony with that result? We've got to upgrade the paradigm. So what is it that you really want? What are the results that you want to create? What's the transformation that you want to make? Know that a paradigm shift is going to be required. And you're responsible for making it. So let's have a look at the creative process of goals, of the perpetual transmutation of energy, one of the laws of the universe, thoughts becoming things. All heard about that? What do we really mean? Think about a kettle. When you boil a kettle, there is water in the kettle. As you apply energy to it, it starts to bubble. It starts to turn to steam, and as it continues to rise up, it goes back to non-physical. It goes back to the ether. There is a transformation of energy. Your goal, what you want, is like a spiritual seed. It is a vibrational image in your mind that is not yet physically manifest. We haven't applied energy to it. Agreed? We haven't focused our conscious mind on it yet. We haven't leveraged pure positive source energy flowing to or through us to hold that image at the center of our mind to support the transformation of it into physical results. But there is a transformation of energy. The science of goal achievement is understanding this, that what is once non-physical can become physical through a process. through the building blocks. And we always want to be in this creative process because it is necessary for growth. I said at the beginning that your mind is the center of a divine creation. The divine is always for expansion and fuller expression. So we want to leverage that to support us. We want to know that we're meant to be growing. In fact, the law of vibration decrees it, that everything moves, nothing rests, rather in a state of growth or a state of disintegration. The law of attraction is a secondary law that responds to our vibration. So if we're not working with any new ideas, if we're not setting any new goals, if we're not thinking beyond what we know, then there can be no growth because the energy has no room to expand. We are automatically going to be in a state of disintegration, and we won't see it straight away. We'll see it in a month or 2 or 6 months or a couple of years. We'll see the physical manifestation of that because the physical side of life is the last and lowest level that anything manifests on. Got that? So we have to be there, being it, thinking it, doing it, feeling it before there's any physical evidence to back that up. How we do that is by understanding this creative process. What is it that you really want? That's going to be a fantasy for you right now. What would you love? It's neither big nor small, it's an idea. So I want you to think of an idea that at the moment feels like a fantasy for you. It's just an idea that you've never done before but you would love. We'll just play with this idea. If we're going after and thinking about things we've already done before, there's no growth, there's no new energy, there's no expansion. We're not leveraging this invisible side of us. We're not using the power. It's like we're going to have to grunt it out, grind it out, you know, trying to get these better results when Source is saying, but hey, you could just use me. I could help you with that. We didn't do a paid ad at all for Elevate. Next year we might, because we're going to double the room. But you're all going to bring someone with you next year, right? Bring a +1? Thank you. But we put the idea out. This is what we want. Get in harmony with it. Leverage the laws of the universe in all aspects of our life to attract to us what it is that we really want. When you have this fantasy, this dream, you say, am I able to do this? Well, your gods, sources, universes, Buddha, whoever you believe in, this non-physical power that's beyond us, that's within us, that's flowing to and through us, you have unlimited power and potential. You can do anything that you really want. At the moment, you're expressing a very, 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 very small part of who you are. Very small. So you're able to do it. The question really is, am I willing? Am I willing to do it? Am I willing to pay the price? Am I willing to upgrade my paradigm so that I can have this thing that I really want, though, so that I can create this thing that I really want? Am I willing to do the work? And if your answer to that is yes, then it becomes a goal. Then it becomes a goal. And we want a C-type goal. We'll talk about that shortly. You build an image with it. You build an idea. There's now an image attached to it. And as we begin to apply the energy to it, apply the focus to it, apply the blueprint to it, we start to turn it into theory. It starts to become physically manifest. But we have to grow with it. We have to grow up with our goals. The true purpose of a goal is not to get it, it's to grow. So let that give you some peace when you think about this thing that you really want, that you may be feeling scared about. Can I do it? Can I have it? Should I? Is it too big for me? Is it too small for me? Is it a growth goal? And is the goal worthy of you? I want you to think about that. Often when we set goals, we wonder whether we can do it, whether it's right for us, whether we should have it, whether it's too much or too little. Ask yourself, is this goal worthy of me? Because I'm going to wake up every morning and be thinking about this goal. I'm going to spend my days closing my knowing-doing gap and creating paradigm shifts and learning new parts of myself. Is this goal worth it for me? Is it worthy of me? Is it worthy of you, Nicole? Is it worthy of you, Tracy? Is it worthy of you, Sue? That's the question we have to ask, not whether we can do it or not. You absolutely can. And if you don't believe that about yourself right now, then you borrow my belief in you, because I know you can. We turn it into a theory and it becomes fact. We hold it, we steady it on our conscious mind. There are 3 types of goals that we often entertain. An A-type goal, doing something you already know how to do. You've done it before, you can do it again. You bought the car, you trade the car in, you sell the car. It's an A-type goal. We've got, our family is organic beef producers out in Western Queensland, and quite a lot of motorbikes, Toyotas. I mean, it's like a 2-year cycle. They're going to be traded. You're going to get another one. There's nothing new about it. You know, if we as a company said our goal is to buy and sell and trade in cars every 2 years, there'd be no growth attached to that, agreed? There'd be no new pipelines or tanks or troughs or infrastructure or kitchens, or because that's an A-type goal. We already know how to do that. There's no growth attached. So then we think, all right, Karen, I'll set a B-type goal. I'm going to do what I think I can do. I'm going to look at my financials and I'm going to say, I'm going to do 10% better. Yes. Hey, and I was setting these goals. So, you know, I'm just taking the mickey out of myself here. This was me before I met Bob Proctor. I had a branding and design business. I was doing pretty well, you know, $300,000 or $400,000 a year. Wasn't paying myself very much. But I distinctly remember setting a goal in that business, which was to earn $20,000 between April and June in a financial year. And I was like, I can do it. I can do this. I'm going to improve by $20,000. I was doing what I thought I could do. I was doing what I needed to do. But there was no inspiration in that. There was no logic in that. Well, there's logic in it, but there's no inspiration in it. There's no growth in it. There's no new energy in it. What we need in our life is a C-type goal. What you really want, what you would love. What do you really want? What is that dream or that goal that you have in your heart that you would love? And the second your monkey mind, conscious mind, starts to go, oh, but, replace it with and. And what else would I love? Practice that. Yep, and what else? And what else? And write down your ideas as you go today. Any idea? And that too. And, yeah, me too. When you're talking at lunch or in the breaks and someone talks about an idea, and maybe I could do that too. And me too. This is an activity, a creative activity to unlock the flow of energy, to get you out of your mechanical mind, which leaders are so good at. You're so mechanical. Get the job done, let's try harder, let's rally the troops, We've got to also work spiritually here, vibrationally, energetically. There is so much leverage we can create in our companies, in our employees, when we go deeper, when we unlock that energy, that vibrational state. So as you're thinking about what you want, I'm not asking you to decide right now. I'm asking you to play with the ideas. Maybe I could. That would be nice. If you see a little house on realestate.com, me too. See a flight you want to take, a holiday, me too. And we've got to start to practice that. We've also got a couple of little, I don't know if anyone noticed, the games tables at the side of the room. I encourage you over the next couple of days, grab a game, grab a partner and have a play. You know, when you come in after lunch, there's 10 minutes, grab a game of Guess Who. Sit down and play. How long has it been since you played Guess Who? Put your hand up. Okay, wait. Has anyone in the room played Guess Who in the last month? Put your hand up. Yep, I love it. 6 weeks? Yep. Yes, down the back, amazing. What about in the last 6 months? Anyone played Guess Who? Do we have Guess Who busy? Is it Guess Who? Yeah. 6 months. Right. How long has it been since you've gone to a park and sat on a swing and swung on the swing? Has anyone done that in the last 6 months? Yeah, I love it. Great. Maybe if you've got kids, that's normal. If you don't have kids, how long has it been since you've swung on a swing like you used to do as a kid? A year? 5 years? 10 years? We don't play as adults. Playing is creative. It unlocks that creative energy. It taps into another side of ourselves. There's no resistance there. We're just playing a game of Guess Who. Oh, this is going to be a funny story, isn't it? When you go home and you tell your partner, I went to a Karen Brook seminar, cost $1,500, and guess what we did? We played Guess Who. That's a story. They're going to love that. Guess what? I invested in her inner circle, and that's $25,000. And guess what? The first thing she told me I had to go and do? I had to stop at a park on the way home and have a swing. They're going to be like, oh, is she crazy? But I'm good and I'm right and it works. So there are games tables there. We've got some games for you. Grab a partner. There's Jenga. There's game cards, all sorts of things. There's drawing, colouring in, drawing things. I mean, is that the best we've got as adults? We got the what do you call those for mental health that we doodle pads? Is that as good as it gets for us as adults, that's the level of creative play we allow ourselves to doodle? I mean, I'm not, I think it's great. I mean, I've got kids, I'm drawing all the time. But we can take it up a level. I mean, we can play Guess Who. We can do Jenga. We can have a card game. So that's why the games table is there for you to grab a game. Grab a partner. Have a play. Take a pack of cards with you for lunch if you like. Come in, be back here at the end of lunch for 10 minutes and have a play. This is how we start to be creative. We let our mind start to wander. And what happens is when we're in that energy, we pick up ideas. We pick up everything else in that energy when you're playing. So if you're ever stuck with an idea at work or how to solve a problem, I don't know what the strategy I need to take. What would be some things that you might consider doing? You would call a colleague. What do you think about this? They're going to be sitting behind their desk, I promise you, being like, I don't know. So then you call somebody else. You might call your partner or your mum or your dad. They're probably sitting behind a desk or they're out and about doing something. What else might you do? You might Google it. Google how to solve the problem. You might go for a walk. Maybe you'd go and take a shower, and sort of cleanse off the old energy. But you wouldn't necessarily think like, I'm going to go swing on a swing, or I'm going to pull a game out of the kids' cupboard, or I'm going to, go take a florist course because I've always wanted to be you don't really think like that, but that's how we need to think. Because then we unblock. The energy's never blocked. What happens is our thinking gets trapped. We get into a very routine way of thinking about things. And we have to be more creative. We have to let it flow. So if you're waiting for a call to come in, and I want you to use the energy of Elevate to practice this while you're here. Let's say there's something you're trying to create, a deal you're trying to do, a client you're trying to close. We're going to attract them in anyway. We don't need to try to close anybody. They're going to buy because they're happy to buy from us. So we've got to change the language around that. So you're going to attract. You want this person to say yes, right? So while you're in the Elevate energy, kind of put it out there. I would love this to happen. And then if you find yourself getting a bit tight around it, just go and play. Go and change your environment. Do something different. Get a good movie at home. Put a movie on that you used to love as a kid because it triggers the memories. Memory is one of your mental faculties. It puts you back into the state of being a child. Enjoying that movie, there's no resistance there. And guess what happens? The deal comes through. because there's no resistance in your energy. You're not blocking it. Does that make sense? You're not blocking it by overthinking it, by struggling against it. We don't go any faster rowing upstream. We go faster when we go downstream, yeah? We let the oars go. We float, we go along with it. So when we do that, we learn to do that in business, when we learn to do that in sales, as a leader, at home, we can start to create more of what we want effortlessly. And for some of you, one of the things that is going to stop you from thinking about what it is that you want, your goal, is the fact that you currently have a paradigm of, I don't have time for that. It's going to be too hard. It will take too much time. The cost may be too big for me because you've been doing it the effort way before. I love it how Athena, you're going to meet Athena later on this afternoon, said, before in my corporate career with Fortune 500 companies, I just thought that the effort way was the normal way. And then she started to get into my coaching and she's in a circle now. And then I learnt the effortless way, that there is another way. And I don't have to just get it done through brute force. Yes, there is a level of discipline and persistence that has to be applied, but it doesn't have to feel hard, de-energize you, drain you. That's a mental state that's doing that, not the physical activity itself. It's our mind that makes us feel tired, not the body, not the energy. So there are 4 or 5 basic laws that I want to cover in this Elevate seminar. I want to refer to them so you're aware of them, but obviously we've only got 2 days together, so there's only so much we can talk about here. But the first one that I've already touched on is the perpetual transmutation of energy. This is in your guide if you want to make extra notes. The perpetual transmutation of energy, it's how the non-physical becomes physical. You set the goal with the conscious mind, but the subconscious mind achieves it. You're transforming energy. When you set your goal, it is an image. It is an image in your conscious mind. You have this pure positive source energy, flow of energy flowing to and through you. As you hold that image at the center of your mind and apply pressure, constant your will to that image, it begins to transform to and through you. First of all, we manifest it vibrationally. We start to feel it. If we don't feel it, we can never receive it. This is why self-image, self-worth, consent, giving ourselves a chance is so important, because if we can't first feel it, if you don't first see it in your imagination and feel it in your heart, William James says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. As you think in your heart, as you see it in your imagination and you feel it in your body, that is what you are in harmony with, that is what you will attract. And so that happens to and through us, the transformation of that energy from non-physical to physical. The law of vibration is a foundational law of the universe. It's not something I made up. It's not something Bob Proctor made up. The law of vibration is a foundational law of the universe. You were a soul. You are a soul, you'll become a soul let me say that again, that's not right. You are a soul living in a physical body. When you die, your body keeps moving. There is vibration there, and it transforms itself. There's no such finality. It's not, that's it. We are vibrating, we are vibrational beings. And based on when we are alive, we are consciously thinking, we can control and direct that flow of energy and make our vibration what we want it to be. You have 2 people in a company selling the same product or service or in the same role. One does very well following the processes that the company teaches. The other misses the mark. Why is that? When they're trained in exactly the same process. Because one is a vibrational match for the outcomes that those habits would produce, the law of cause and effect, and the other has probably got a poor self-image. They're in a negative mental mindset. They're not expressing the same vibration. They're following the same process, but they're nowhere near getting the same results. They're attracting something very different back to them. They attract the no's and then they say, oh, look, see, told you it wouldn't work. Because that's the dominant belief they were in harmony with. That's all they can attract. The law of vibration, we are constantly expanding or disintegrating. And the law of attraction responds to that. It responds to this vibration, this energy that we have. Has anyone ever walked into a room and you just absolutely know that that person in the corner is having a bad day? Has anyone been in that situation? How do you know they're having a bad day when they haven't told you? You can feel it, you can see it. So we know this. Has anyone, me included, got small children? Small children are all subconscious until about 7. And you're in a bit of a frazzled vibration. You're a bit scatty, and then you see it in the child. Has anyone ever noticed that? And they're a bit scatty and a little bit crazy, and then when you're really calm, or if you then are aware of this and you shift it, they start to settle down because they're picking up on your energy. It's like if you've ever been thrown off a horse. I had this little pony out in Birdsville. His name was Brookie. Original, isn't it? And he would throw me off all the time. Oh, goodness me. Bully Booth used to have to get on him and take him for a ride over the sandhills before a gymkhana because I was guaranteed to get thrown off this little horse. But I had to get back on every time because the horses pick up if you're scared. They know they can do it again. They pick up on the energy. We all pick up on energy. We feel it. I remember when I started to work with Bob, and I went into a seminar room one day and I was writing with a $2 Bic pen. Does everyone know those, the little blue ends? And he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." He goes, "What is that pen?" And he threw his beautiful cross pen across the table to me and said, "Never write with a crappy pen." And I was like, "Oh, God, okay." And later on, he pulled me aside and he said, "Do you know why I did that?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And he said two things. Your pen is an energy, and your thoughts are your most valuable asset. And you're taking your thoughts to a sheet of paper through that pen, and if it is a $2 pen, what is that saying about your self-image, how you feel about you? And you could say, "Oh, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't matter," but try it. I mean, we've given you a beautiful pen today, but go to a shop, go and spend $80 on a pen. Go and spend $300 on a pen. Go and invest $1,000 in a pen and notice how you feel when you write with it. Notice how you feel when you walk into a presentation. Notice how you feel when you sign somebody up or you sign a contract. I had someone sign me up on something one day, and poor guy, he handed me a real terrible pen, and I did sign it, but afterwards I was like, can I tell you something? And I was like, you're asking, first of all, he didn't do his research. I don't prefer to travel discount travel. Not looking for the cheapest deal, I'm not looking for a bargain. So probably didn't do his research there. I kind of want to fly more at the front of the plane, maybe stay in the 5-star hotels. But anyway, that's okay. We got through, signed it all up, but he handed me this cheap pen and I said, you're asking people to invest with you and then you are handing them a cheap pen to sign the contract. Something's off, doesn't feel right. And the logical, mechanical mind would say it's just a pen, but everything is energy. And so I never forgot that, you know, even if I was on the end of a phone, I mean, we don't do discovery calls anymore, but on the end of a phone and someone I'd always write with a beautiful pen because it was still an energy. I still knew I was writing with Bob's $300 cross pen. That does something to your energy, to your self-image. It gives you the Bob confidence, you know, to say, how are you going to pay for that? What's your credit card number? It's a self-image. And so my recommendation to you is, I'm not asking you to go out and buy a Mont Blanc pen for $1,000, but go out and invest in a pen more than you've invested in a pen before and see what it does for your self-image. You'll be amazed at the difference that it makes. If you have staff or employees or people, share this story with them. You can go to Officeworks and buy a cross pen for $40, but it's still a cross pen. It's a little upgrade and it does make a difference. And that's all about vibration. It's all about energy and what starts to attract back to you. The law of compensation. The amount of money that you earn is in direct response to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. Let me say that again. The law of compensation decrees that the amount of money that you earn is in direct proportion to the need for what you do. Now, there is a big need for what you do. I guarantee it. People everywhere are looking for what you do. It doesn't matter whether you're in agriculture, whether you're in styling, whether you're selling a product. I guarantee you there is a big need for what you do. Your ability to do it then is the main deal, because if you are very good at what you do, you are very difficult to replace. And your ability to do what you're doing is going to be dependent on your level of awareness, on your paradigms, because you're programmed to operate in a certain way, to do things in a certain way. So if we're not creating change there, transformation there, then we have no new level of awareness. We have no new ability to do it. We can't get better at it. And so we're easily replaced. I'm very difficult to replace in the field in which I work. I'm very difficult to replace on this stage. Therefore, my stock goes up. I earn more, I have more opportunities, things happen. Not by luck or chance. I wasn't born like this, but I was born whole. My spiritual DNA was perfect, and I surrounded myself with people along the way who drew that perfection out of me, and I've never stopped. So my ability to do what I'm doing just gets better and better and better, and my stock keeps going up and up and up. See it? See what I mean? This is as it is for me, as it is for you. The law of compensation decrees it. So you don't need to worry about what the competitors are doing, what anyone else is doing in your industry. You just focus on doing what you're doing and getting better at it. I was reading the Matildas
Just going to pause it there and come back on with you. I thought that was a nice spot to have a little break. And just circle back to a couple of things that I just said on the recording there, talking about the law of compensation, and that I'm very difficult to replace on the stage, and therefore my stock goes up. And just working through looking at the law of compensation, the amount of money that you earn is in direct proportion to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. Now, I don't share any of that or any of the stories to impress you. I don't need to impress you. I share them to impress upon you and for you too, right? That if I can become aware of this and learn this and create results at a higher level, then so can you. And Bob Proctor was such a great example of that. You know, he didn't go to high school. He was very much from the poverty side of the tracks, had very little education, if any education at all. And a man gave him Think and Grow Rich, Ray Stanford, when he was 26. And he studied that, and he went on to start a cleaning company, took his income from $4,000 a year where he owed $6,000 a year to over $125,000 and then over $1 million. And again, we don't share these stories to try to impress you. Like, I don't need to do that. We don't need to do that to each other. It's to impress upon you the opportunity and the possibilities for your life too. So I want to encourage you right now to head along to my website, karenbrook.com. If you have not already got yourself on the wait list, submit your details there, and one of my team members, Simona or Elizabeth, will get you the link so you can get along and book your tickets to Elevate 2025. If you have already joined our waitlist, you will have received an email from me at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time today to be able to go and get your tickets. You can purchase a VIP or a general admission ticket, and the early bird price is available for 24 hours only. Stick with me. I'm going to play a short interlude video for you that shares a little bit more about why you want to be at Elevate and what's there for you. And then we'll go back and take on a little bit more of session one from day one. That's what I've been sharing with you this morning. Hello and welcome if you've just tuned in or you're picking up this broadcast now. I'm Karen Brook, your host today, and also your coach at Elevate 2025, my 2-day high performance mindset and leadership conference right here on the Gold Coast. We're holding it once again at the beautiful Langham Hotel and Resort on Friday the 28th of February and Saturday the 1st of March. And I invite you to join me there as one of 100 leaders coming together from right around Australia and the world to really elevate your mindset, your habits, and your results, to leave ordinary behind and begin to create extraordinary results, whatever that is for you. It's not up to me to tell you what that should look like. It's what is it for you? What do you really want? In fact, I remember when Oprah Winfrey was interviewed on the couch and was asked, what's the number one thing a person can do to create a successful life? And she said, to get clear on what it is that you really want, to really think about your goals, to put it down on paper and to begin at once working towards it. And, you know, Elevate is really going to give you the opportunity to take a look at yourself, to take a look at how you've been tracking and the sort of results you've been creating, and ask yourself, is this really as good as it gets? And I remember when Bob Proctor asked me that question, he said, Karen, take a good look at your life. Have a look around. Is this really as good as it gets? Because right now you're operating at a very small percentage of your potential. In fact, Price Pritchett from U Squared, a high performance mindset coaching for quantum leaps, he says that at best we're probably only operating at about 10% of our true potential. You know, and I've used that line many times at live events before, and you know, I can always see the front row having a little bit of a laugh because they're tired, they're overwhelmed, they're overworked, they think, where am I ever going to find more time to make a quantum leap? And that's the point. It's not about trying harder, it's not about working harder, it's about upgrading and updating this operating system, your mind, your biocomputer, becoming available for more. In fact, I was talking about this with clients this morning about the work that I do with you around self-image and your identity. And when you start to see yourself and an expanded version of yourself, what you're really doing beyond putting these ideas in for your life of how you want to live your life and the things that you want, what you're really doing when you do self-image work is you're expanding your capacity to receive more. Right? You're giving yourself an opportunity to become available for the greater good that is out there, for all of the things that you've been asking for. Quite frankly, the asking is probably not your problem, it's the receiving. It's getting yourself into a mindset and a self-image and a belief system where you feel worthy, where you're capable, where you're acting in a certain way to be able to receive and create the results that you want. All of this and more I'm going to be talking about at Elevate 2025, and it's such a perfect addition to be able to lock in that event, to be able to square it away, be able to start that. In fact, making the decision today and booking your ticket, you're already in the energy. Things are going to start to shift for you. We're going to start to get you into the energy. We're going to start to do training with you. I'm going to start to get on calls with you so that by the time you actually get in the room with me in February, like, you're already away to the races. Like, things are already happening for you. And the second that you make that committed decision and you book your ticket, I guarantee you're going to feel so good and things are going to start to shift for you because everything is energy. And you're tapping into the Elevate energy just by booking your ticket today. So I'm going to share with you a short video just to share with you a little bit more about the Elevate experience. And then we'll come back and we'll have a little bit more of a chat. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to what the media would have you believe, you run the show. It's just you and the almighty universe. And either you learn how to control and direct that flow, or you don't. You might be getting great results. Just because we're running along well doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing this work. If you don't get better at doing what you're doing and put your hand up and claim that number one spot, someone else will. And they're probably not as good as you. Professional development isn't just for people who aren't doing so great. The real winners, the leaders who are dominating their industries, the leaders who are innovating, who are true entrepreneurs, are doing this when they're already doing well.
And that's why you're in the room today, because you're doing great, but you want to do better. You either upgrade your paradigms and that benefits all of your life, or you don't. There's no halfway. Your whole life benefits. And from that place, you have the opportunity to have an enormous breakthrough.
It's just you and the almighty universe. I love that line from that promo video for Elevate. And it really is. Bob Proctor always said, if what you're studying, if the events you're going to don't have a spiritual essence to it, then you're only working with a very limited part of who you really are. And you know what I've learned over the years is that leaders are very good at being mechanical. You're very good at getting things done. You've got a very wonderful analytical mind. And it's important, right? We've got to get the job done. But when you begin to discover what else you also have at your disposal, the spiritual essence of who you are, your mental faculties, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, you go from being great to extraordinary. You go from doubling or tripling your results or your revenue to turning your annual income to your monthly income, to literally making a quantum leap. You know, when I work with clients, I get them to set their date for their C-type goals certainly no longer than 3 years out. And they come in and say, oh, 5 years from now. And I say, you have absolutely no idea what you are capable of achieving. And when I say to my thinking into results clients, you'll need a telescope to look back within 6 months, and they go, yeah, whatever, so cliche. I'll admit that it sounds cliche. And then they get to the end. Most recently, I had a client, Tori Keith from the US, and she said, I remember when you said to me, you'd need a telescope to look back. And she said, but I do. You know, she went from being a commission salesperson to having a share in a company within 6 months, ownership of a company. The transformation is extraordinary. You literally have no idea what you're capable of achieving. But what I absolutely know to be true is what you have achieved up until yesterday is still nothing compared to where you can go. And that doesn't mean you have to work harder or try harder. It's not about slaving away. It's about upgrading and updating your mind, reprogramming your subconscious mind, and taking everything onto a higher level. The whole basis of transformation requires new ideas because we think from our ideas. And if you're not surrounding yourself with any new ideas, any new energy that challenge you, that may even trigger you, that really have you looking at you and you, it's just you and the almighty universe, right? You then you really begin to see what else is possible for you. And you can start to take the ideas of who you think you can be and what you can do and your goals and how you really want to live your life. And it's not really about the things that we get out of it. It's who we become in the process. It's who we become as a person, as a husband, as a wife, as a friend, as a leader, as a soccer coach, as a human being, as a spiritual being having this physical experience. And when we're truly growing at the highest level, we become more enriched. We become happier, healthier, and wealthier. And that's what life is really about. Entering into the spirit of life, into the essence of who you are, where it is only for expansion, fuller expression. Like if I could get you to know that, not just consciously, but deeply, like if I could get a syringe and, right, just get it into you, I would. Because it just makes for, no matter the challenges or the circumstances that you face, you'll be able to face them with a new perspective about who you are, about how this beautiful universe works and what you can really create and what you can do and who you can become with it. You know, most people are living a very small life relative to their spiritual capacity and their mental capacity. They are bogged down in circumstances, in situations, feel bound by it. And truly, when we take back control from within and we elevate ourselves from within, we're able to immediately begin to transform circumstances. You know, a lot of people think that free will is in their free will to act, but the truth is your free will is to choose the concept of yourself, to take a look at yourself and your life and get to know you and study you. And really, when you work with me, I'm teaching you about you and expanding your level of awareness with respect to who you are. as a spiritual being gifted with an intellect, having a physical experience, creating results, and how to really take control of that, and take the various aspects of your life onto a higher level, and put you in control of that. Give you the toolbox, like a builder has their tool belt, like a pilot has their checklist, giving you a blueprint, a process to follow that you can checklist and make sure you've got things into the right order so that you can perform at your best and on the highest level. That is Elevate. So please, I invite you right now to be one of the 100 leaders that are going to be in the room with me, February 28th to the 1st of March 2025. Make a committed decision right now today. Don't let anyone or anything even slow you down. Make that advanced decision to be in the room with me. Go to my website and book your tickets today. If you are not on the wait list yet, then get yourself on the wait list and we'll get you the link to buy, karenbrook.com/elevate. If you are already on the wait list, then you will have received the link from me earlier today at 12 p.m. when tickets went on sale. So check your inbox for that, or check your text messages. I would have sent you a message with the link. And go along and book your VIP or general admission ticket. The VIP is phenomenal value right now for all the additional inclusions that we have in it. It's just a little bit more than general in the current early bird, and the early bird ends in 24 hours. I'm so enthused. I want to acknowledge Naomi Durden, who has just purchased her ticket. Naomi is an inner circle client of mine, She's an accountant on the Eyre Peninsula in Port Lincoln, Eyre Accounting and financial planning. And Naomi is going to be in the room. Naomi has been an incredible inner circle client of mine for many, many, many years. She runs a great business. She comes to all of the events. If you have the opportunity to talk to Naomi, talk to her about her intergenerational wealth, her financial planning business, and what she can do for you. Set aside time at Elevate to meet Naomi. If you're unsure when you're in the room, ask one of my team members and they'll set up a time for you to talk to her. She really knows what she's doing. She's heavily invested, particularly for wealthy farming families who are looking to do succession planning, intergenerational wealth succession planning, financial planning. She really can help you. So I can't wait for you to meet Naomi Durden. And these are the sorts of people that you are going to meet at Elevate, from small business leaders to people like Naomi who run accounting firms, financial planning firms, to CEOs of government and community organizations, and everyone in between. We have such an incredible community of people. And the beautiful thing is that everyone is just as nice as you. Like, you can talk to anybody in the room. They're all just as lovely as you. And they're all there to elevate their mind. And there's no comparison of your goal to somebody else's goal or what you want. The process we achieve that and close the gap is exactly the same. Whether you come to me and you say you want to go from 1 million to 10 or 10 to 100, or you want to diversify your business, or you want to pursue a personal goal, the process that I'm going to take you through to close that gap is exactly the same. It's the creative process, it's the laws of the mind, and then we work out that exact plan for you to close that gap. So I'm going to take you back to the morning session, day one from Elevate 2024, earlier this year, and we'll hear a little bit more from me live on the stage at Elevate, and then we'll wrap it up shortly. Here we go.
Still 12 hours in today, earn $1 million, that's $100,000 an hour. It's possible. There could be 10 people somewhere in the world in the next 1 hour that go to my website and book in for TIR. And that could happen again. It's possible, right? There's 7 billion people in the world. Agreed? Between now and midnight, I could earn $1 million. But we don't often live in that possibility, do we? For your own goals, for the things that you want. We don't think about that. We don't talk about it. We feel ashamed to talk about it. Instead, we worry about how it's going to happen. Oh, look at what's not happening. Look at what's not happening. Look at the problems. Guess what we attract? more of it. So when we get better at doing what we're doing, the better is in our mind. It's in thinking. Imagine just thinking like that. If the one thing we worked on was you living in the possibility more often, over time, what would start to happen? If there was nothing else that we worked on except that. If you're in sales, we worked on that and asking every single person to buy. And now in a room of 10 people or on the phone talking to 10 people, 2 more of those bought every time. In a year, you might grow your sales by a couple of $100,000. I didn't ask you to work till midnight. I didn't ask you to work 7 days a week. I asked you to change your attitude, to live in the possibility and ask every person to buy instead of feeling nervous that they'll say no, so you don't even ask. Like, we've got to give ourselves more credit and the people that we do business with as leaders and as CEOs, rather than worrying about the loss or the lack or what people might, give them the benefit of the doubt that they want to say yes, that they want to be a part of it, that they love what you do. And watch how things change for you. That's the law of compensation. Your ability to do what you're doing is the only thing you need to focus on there. The law of cause and effect. Every action of your thought and habit has an equal and opposite reaction, creating your physical results. You might want to write down 3 words I like to use here along with that law, which is value, service, and effectiveness. When you think about these 3 aspects, in your business, in your personal life, in relationships, in anywhere that you can, this will invoke the law of cause and effect for you without you really needing to try hard at all. So how can I be of more value now? Not next week, not next year, be better today. How can I be of more value now? You know, how can I provide a greater level of service? So we have in your conference satchels a little concierge business card. So if you need something over the course of the next 2 days, if you've got a question, email concierge at karenbrook.com.au. A little thing, you know. You may not use it at all, but now you know it's there. Oh, they've thought about that. That little bit of extra service. We can do this there's a great author called John DeJulius. I just told you at the start not to jump around, didn't I? But he's got some great books called The Customer Service Revolution, Mr. John DeJulius. And he talks about these little things that you can build into your business around customer service, and that are just there. It's a thought, it's a vibration, it's an energy. Going that little bit further. If you're not prepared to do more than you're paid for, you'll never be paid for more than you do. If you're not prepared to do more than you're being paid for, you'll never be paid for more than you do. If you want to earn more and work less, think about the law of cause and effect. How can you get that going for yourself? You get on the highway, the vibrational highway that starts to put you in harmony with what you're asking for. Service. How can I be of greater service today? And how can I be more effective? This is a massive one because I know that every single one of you are probably, really trying to do your best anyway. But how effective are we at what we are presently doing? What is our state of mind? Are we operating in an orderly state or a disorderly state? Have we set a clear C-type goal? Do we know from what level we need to make decisions? This is the effectiveness piece. Are we being effective? You have, I'm sure you've all known somebody like this, a manager who maybe gets a lot done but leaves a trail of destruction behind them. Anyone known or met someone in your industry a little bit like that? So they can get things done, but they're not very effective because look at what they've left behind them. The effective leader that comes in, they're working in an orderly state. They're aligned to their goal, their company goal, and they get everybody working in harmony with is the effective leader. Everybody thinking highly of themselves, raising the whole self-image of the company, elevating everybody on a new level. That's the effective leader. They can get a lot done in a short amount of time. Everyone feels good. We now have well-being in the workplace. because everyone's aligned with that goal, aligned with that vibration. The law of cause and effect. It's time to break out. It is time to set yourself free. It is time to learn a new model that makes the old model obsolete. Buckminster Fuller said that. Most people spend time, trying to readjust or alter the model. What if we just built a new model? And I understand that can feel a little bit like going from a PC computer to a Mac. Has anyone ever done that? You're like, what is this thing? Is it from outer space? When you decide to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete, it's going to feel a little bit like going from a PC computer to a Mac. Foreign. It's a new energy, it's a new vibration, it's new thoughts, it's new feelings, it's new actions, it's new decisions. But when we do that, we also give ourselves an opportunity to create new results. Sometimes when we wait too long to upgrade, like I did with my other old computer, how many of you can relate to this, hands up, where you've got a computer and you probably should upgrade it? It's not really working as good as it could. It's getting a little bit slow. It's not charging, but everything's on it. The programs, the pictures, the downloads, how am I going to transfer that to a new computer? So we keep using it, don't we? Until it either crashes and then you've really got a problem on your hands. We don't want that. Or you can't do presentations anymore, nothing loads, and you're forced to get a new computer. So I bought myself a new computer a few months ago. Fortunately, didn't get to either of those situations, but it was no longer charging very well. And when I had the adapter in it, it wouldn't pick up the screens to project anything on it. And I was like, well, I can't go into Elevate with that computer. That's an old model. And it was quite symbolic, actually, that I got the new computer in time for Elevate because we've created a new model. And we have to be willing to do that with our lives, with our businesses, with our companies. Not wait until we're burnt out or it breaks down or we lose it all. Go, hey, I don't think that's working as well as it could. Or I know that I could create a new version of that and it would help me perform better. Yeah? It could be a time paradigm. Hey, I'm not going to wait until I'm really burnt out and stuck to decide to work a 4-day work week. I'm going to put the model in place now. I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to get the new computer now before I really need to do it. The money paradigm, I've heard that instead of earning, I know we've got lots of different, doesn't matter, $100,000 a month, what if I could do $100,000 a week? I'm not going to wait until I'm forced to make that change. I'm going to decide in advance because I've heard that there's a new computer out there, there's a new operating model, there's a new mental model on my bio computer I can install that can help me get $100,000 a week. But we don't do that, do we? We go to the old computer and we say, give me faster speed. Come on, work, charge. And we're doing that with our life. We've got $1 million a year, 10 million, and we say, why can't I get to 100? Why are there no new clients? Why am I struggling with my staff? Have you thought about putting a new HR program in your mind? Have you thought about a new sales model where you're no longer selling at $20,000 a week, you're selling at $80,000 a week? So don't be frustrated by your results, decide to change them. The truth is, your problem is you've been passive about your life. And I have to say that to you to elevate you because you are an infinite being. There is another level that you can access. You know how to do better. This is not your first rodeo. It's not the first time you've ever come to a seminar or a conference. And you have created better results. You have done better. But it is still nothing compared to where you can go. At best, you're probably right now operating at about 10% of your true potential, only 10%. I remember saying this to somebody about 8 years ago, and I could see her in the front of the row. She was sitting where Sam's, and she was like, I can't work any harder. And I was like, you don't need to work harder. That's not the answer. Often trying harder will kill your chances for success. It's just a pathway to burnout. You know how to do better. The paradigm is the problem. You've been letting outside circumstances get to you. You get caught up in other things that all appear very important. The school P&C committee, the social club, the problems from last year. We're just in the circumstances. We can elevate, we can go to a next level. It doesn't mean we're not going to choose those things, but now the circumstances are not controlling us. You're in control. You've mastered the highest level, the 7th level of awareness, which is you're in control of what you think, how you feel, and how you act. That is mastery. It's nothing else than that. And in some aspects of your life, you have mastered that mastery. You know how to think, feel, and act in that aspect of your life to create the results that you want. And in other aspects of your life, you're letting circumstances get to you. Start to become aware of what that is. At lunchtime, if you haven't reflected on those 8 questions at the start of your workbook, maybe take 5 minutes and just jot down some thoughts around those 8 questions at the start of the guide to help you really pinpoint where some of these areas are that you'd like to create change. It is much easier to win in a big way than it is to lose. It is harder when we set little goals than big goals. And remember that little or big is relative. So if you're earning $100,000 a year and you want to earn $1 million, or let's say you're selling $100,000 a year or $1 million a year of insurance, and you want to sell $5 billion a year in insurance, it's easier to focus on the 5 or even 10, selling 10 and thinking at the level of 10 million for a month or 2, because you're going to cruise right through 5. Everything is level. It's a frequency. Does that make sense? We're going to move through it. If I'm on 102.3 and I want to listen to 107.8, I'm going to move through 105.3 to get there. Agreed? So if we want things to feel easier for us and to create that momentum, sometimes we need to go beyond what we even think we want. We need to 10x it. We need to really go beyond so that we create less resistance. Because we can get stuck on our goal. We can get stuck thinking about the how and what and if. When we get really creative and we go even further, we create less resistance for ourselves, which makes it easier for the subconscious mind to accept the idea. This is why creative play, going and playing a game and then thinking about your goal, helps the subconscious mind accept it much faster. Sitting at the beach, walking in the garden, in a car, having a shower. When we create that state of no resistance, we're more accepting of the things that we want. When we try too hard, we push it away. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. Price Pritchett said that, little book U Squared. And he's the one that also said, you were operating at only 10% of your true potential. And that is absolutely true. Now, what happens is we go to the next level. I'd like to think that probably maybe I'm operating at 20 or 30% now, but it's still nothing compared to where I can go. It's still nothing compared to where you can go. So stop putting these limits on yourself. They just don't exist. You have to make a decision. You've got to flip your mind onto that new frequency. Men and women who succeed at reaching decisions promptly and changing them very slowly. Actually, I'm not even going to read that. I'm just going to do it out of my head. Napoleon Hill, out of Think and Grow Rich, said, people who make decisions quickly and change them... I don't even have the quote in my head right now. I'm going to skip that and come back to it. Watch this video from Bob. Again.
If you don't act on your ideas, you don't deserve the reward. It's that simple. That's a simple law. If you're not prepared to act, you don't deserve the reward. Nobody hears you saying this. This is talking that's going on in your subconscious mind. And it is screwing up every opportunity. When you let your paradigm influence your thinking, you have disqualified yourself from anything better than you presently have. Discipline is giving yourself a command and then follow that command. That's not following somebody else's command. 90% of the world are following somebody else's command and they're not living the way they want to live. It's got to be the way you want. Not the way your mama wants you to be, not the way your daddy wants you to be. What do you want to be? What's that desire inside? When everything in you telling you why you can't do it. When everything in you seems to go the wrong way to where you think you should go. That's when you've got to have guts. And if you don't have it, you don't deserve to win. Honey, you said any idea that's held in the mind. You got to focus on it. You've got to stay focused on what you want. Don't let anything knock you off track. Don't let anybody convince you you can't do it. You may not be responsible for who you are, but I'm going to tell you something. You're responsible for changing it.
And we are going to pause it there for today of that little sneak peek from day one of Elevate 2024, the morning session. I really hope that you've enjoyed that and it gives you a little bit of a taste of what's to come at Elevate 2025. And like Bob just said right at the end, you might not be responsible for creating your programming. You might have picked it up from your environment or your family or your workplace, but you're responsible for changing it. And our results, good or bad, are a product of our paradigms. And true freedom comes when we take responsibility for that. And then we learn how to change it. So, you know, I always say it doesn't matter what the results are. The fact that we can look at them and say, I'm responsible for that, gives you a huge amount of freedom to be able to move forward and begin to create more of what you want. And it doesn't matter how good it is, it can always get better. And this is something we really want to understand. No matter what position you're in, no matter how well you are doing, we want to take a look at yourself and realize that you are an expression of source energy. You're pure positive source energy. Your mind is the center of a divine creation that's always for expansion, fuller expression. There's just so much more to you than you realize. And as you begin to recognize that, naturally, your life goes on to a higher level. It's not even about doing anything. It really isn't, right? We do from the joy that it gives us. We go to work for the satisfaction. When you begin to realize and connect with this essence of who you are, that there's increase there, there's expansion there, there's more of you, and you begin to see that, your life will naturally begin to expand. Everything starts to go onto a higher level. And we just want to make sure that we're not dragging around these old ideas or paradigms that are limiting our potential of what we can do and who we can be and what we believe we can create. We want to release ourselves from those old shackles. And like Bob used to say, most people are in a prison of their own making and they don't even realize it. You know, they're cruising at 60 kilometers an hour underneath the hood. They just don't even realize what else is possible. Well, I'm going to show you what else is possible for you, what else is possible for your life, and give you the exact steps to close that gap. Now, I encourage you to go along to my website and get your tickets secured right now today for Elevate 2025. We only have 100 tickets for this event. They have been selling consistently since we opened the doors at 12 p.m. today to the wait list. If your name was not on the wait list, then you can still get tickets at the moment while they're available. You go to karenbrook.com/elevate. Submit your details as though you're adding yourself to the waitlist, and one of my team members will be in touch with you and will share the link to purchase with you. If your name was already on our waitlist, I have sent you an email and a text message with the direct link to buy and get that early bird special. The early bird special for VIP tickets is $1,200 down from $1,800, and for general admission it's $980 down from $1,200. These prices are Australian dollars, not USD. We are working in Australian dollars here, so you can access that early bird price. That ends within 24 hours at 12 p.m. tomorrow, or when sold out. So, right? So you've got until 12 p.m. tomorrow to get that early bird price, or the tickets will sell out before then and everyone will have got the early bird price. So I would make sure that you're one of the people that make a committed decision right now. Get that link, go across to my website and book yourself a ticket. And really think about booking a +1. You plus you equals you squared. That having another mastermind, another person with you that is in your circle, it may be a business advisor, your accountant, a lawyer, it may be your spouse, your business manager, a team member, an employee, it may be a sibling, it may be your son or daughter, your grandmother. Give someone the gift of Elevate. Bring them along with you for them to be able to work on themselves and also start to tap into this and understand it. I have just seen the most extraordinary things happen when you do it for you, and then you start to extend your good, extend the good far beyond your own physical presence. Magic starts to happen. Your children benefit from this, your whole company, your clients, your employees, everybody benefits from this. It has been such an honor to be able to share this information with you, not just today, but to be able to coach it for the best part of the last 10 or 12 years. I'm 2 decades self-employed, and the best part of the last decade really studying every day this work, this material. I've been mentored by the best, Bob Proctor. He's passed over now. He passed away a few years ago, but continues to guide me every single day. I have one of his very special encyclopedias here on my desk. Thank you, Bob Proctor. And I know that he would be so proud of what we've created with Elevate. I was very privileged to spend many, many years traveling to and from Canada and America to work directly with Bob Proctor. Many weeks spent in Toronto with him, many times on stage with Bob Proctor at Paradigm Shift in Los Angeles. And to have now the opportunity to have an event like Elevate down here in Australia for our Australia Pacific region, and to open that up to clients around the world to be able to come to this into our community. As I said, it truly is an honor and a privilege. I love it. I never take what I do for granted. It's always very humbling when people make that decision and either come to an event or book a program with me. And I really look forward to seeing you there. So once again, thank you for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed that little sneak peek from the morning of Elevate Day 1, 2024. Say hi in the chat. Let me know if you've got any questions, wherever you're picking up this broadcast across YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. I'm Karen Brook. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you at Elevate next year. Go ahead and get your tickets today, and we'll see you there soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to what the media would have you believe, you run the show. It's just you and the almighty universe. And either you learn how to control and direct that flow, or you don't. You might be getting great results. Just because we're running along well doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing this work. You don't get better at doing what you're doing and put your hand up and claim that #1 spot, someone else will. And they're probably not as good as you. Professional development isn't just for people who aren't doing so great. The real winners, the leaders who are dominating their industries, the leaders who are innovating, who are true entrepreneurs, are doing this when they're already doing well. And that's why you're in the room today. Because you're doing great, but you want to do better. You either upgrade your paradigms and that benefits all of your life, or you don't. There's no halfway. Your whole life benefits. And from that place, you have the opportunity to have an enormous breakthrough.